Welcome back to this drawing session. So once we have drawn a couple of the Anthurium Spathes on our page, you begin to see the potential for forming a picture from these. I have a pot plant, of course, in front of me, and I'm cutting off leaves and spades from it. But normally I would draw looking at the pot plant, but that's impossible to do in this video setup. So I've taken one of the leaves off, and I'm now going to place a leaf in somewhat of a natural, where the stem might look like it's coming down to join other stems. And I'm going to place it within this picture. Now, this leaf has got to be behind these two spades. So a portion of it is going to be hidden in my process of drawing it. So I'm starting to think where I might put it in the relationship between these two. I want to see that lovely edge there that it has on top. And then this beautiful carve here. I don't want that to be too hidden. So I'm going to put it in this region, in this area here, and the stem can come down there. Of course, you can change the placement of the stem if you like. It's not obligatory to draw it exactly as you see it, but we'll do it more or less. So thinking about that then, I am thinking that these two edges here, these two contours, and the stem are going to come in some area over here. Now I don't want them, as I say, to be too hidden. So I'm thinking that the stem can come more or less down here. And of course, a portion of it will be hidden, you know. It's in the nature of the thing. But if I bring it up high enough, just maybe to that point, I can get the underneath of the stem, which I can see just coming in that area there, just above this. And then the other side of it then comes at approximately that angle there. So I'm watching the angles from which, as they meet the main stem coming down. And this one goes up here. And there's this lovely twist. So the leaf has a similar kind of movement within it that we saw in the spades. This lovely twist here where we see the back of the leaf and then we see the front. And then this edge comes up underneath it here. So again, find your contour with your short directional lines, looking at the angle. A bit comes up there, down here, that goes down, the angle goes down, it comes up again, and it comes down again. So you're following the shifts and changes in the movement of the edge of the leaf in this case. So off we go right over here, and then it curls in then here, and then that line comes back out again. So you've got this quite distinctive edge, and then we'll go back to the starting point here. We can now bring this line down and just make that a little more clear so you can see it. And then there's a wider bit there, and then it narrows as it comes down here. Okay, so that's the underneath bit. Now we're going to do this bit here, which comes up and then disappears underneath. So this is the undersurface of the leaf. And so we must go in here now to find that little loop, which comes up there, comes around further on this bit, it comes down a little bit and then it curls up and then down, down, way down there. Might just come behind something now here, which is absolutely fine. Just shift it a little bit so that I can follow through. Yes, it's going to come underneath that edge there of the spade, and then it changes direction and comes in a little bit and out and up to meet that edge there. The central vein comes from here very gently, you can't see it, very close to that, and then you're aiming for that central vein to come from this direction. So if you hover your hand over, you'll get the direction correct. It just appears there. So you've got, that's the vein there. And there is this vein comes from down here too. So you just barely see it there, and it comes around there, and then there are other ones gently coming in here, and ditto on the other side. And there's quite a big one coming out from underneath there, coming up, and then down and around like that. That was an incorrect direction, so let's get rid of it. And then they're coming like that and that. This leaf is a bit fatter on the end, but I don't mind at all. Okay, so that you've all the basic elements in then there. So you can go a little harder now on your lines, and you can make them a little more distinct and also reinforce them. There's a lovely U there. Following around the edges, just reinforcing the shape. And getting the contours. So follow them quite closely, be very careful to get the shape correct. And then this underneath here is the underneath, and that's the underneath there. And this here, and I think this could just do with another little bit of reinforcing, and it comes off here. So there's the leaf, slightly longer shape, but very reminiscent of the shape that we have here. Very, very closely allied to it. And that comes in a nice contour there. Okay, how does the light fall on that? Well, again, the light is coming from this direction. So we see a touch of it on the rim here, just coming around. So we could rub out that. I'm just putting that little bit just above the original line. And there is a little bit on the top here. And we'll feed that on there. Like that. It catches the light very, very slightly underneath here, which is nice actually. So the light is coming through this little opening here and in there, catches it just on the edge here and definitely down there, and runs down the stem. So again, on the spade, there was a quilting effect. So the light hits, we'll put a little bit in there and soften the edge then of that lit portion. There's a little bit of light running around here, softer than there. So I'm just going to suggest it without it being too harsh. A little bit there, and then it comes down the edges here, right to the vein, and then gets softened off at the edge. It follows through from that little lit area there, down there, and here as well. There's a little bit on this side. Get those edges a little softer than we have them. There's a little bit on this side too, coming up, and there's quite a highlight just there. So I'm going to reinforce that white more than other areas because it's the lightest light within and these are very gentle here. The next thing then is to put in the shadows. I don't want this video to be too long, but there's a shadow in there. So I'll do this rather quickly. There's a shadow in there, and then there are shadows within the quilting on the right hand side of each of that's quite a shadow there where it turns on one side of each of these quilted areas of the leaf. So we'll do it quickly now. And then this area is all in shadow. And straight down there, there's a shadow. And there's a little suggestion of a shadow there. And then this area here is all in shadow. Okay, so that's the second leaf. Okay, that's okay for the moment. We'll see you shortly. Bye.